sealed cardboard box suddenly broke open, and the dull thud of frozen meat hitting the ground coincided exactly with the heavy sound of the warehouse door closing. Anna didn't realize anything was wrong until the manager flipped the store's main switch, and then she understood that something was wrong. She jumped up and pounded the thick door with all her strength, screaming for help with a broken voice. But the manager had already locked up and left the shopping center without looking back. Panicking, she turned on an emergency light and tried to call the police with her cell phone, only to realize when she touched her pocket that she had left it on the counter at the register. As the cold spread, Anna began to shiver violently, and in order to survive, she pushed a shopping cart and hurled it with all her strength against the door again and again, without managing to move it even an inch, and injuring her hands on the cart's handle in the process. As the temperature kept dropping, Anna refused to die frozen and desperately rubbed her numb hands together, trying to generate a bit of warmth. Noticing the watch on her wrist, she knew that the last movie screening was about to end and that this was her only hope for survival. Gathering the little strength she had left, she started banging on the door again and again. But the moviegoers leaving didn't notice at all the faint cries coming from inside the cold storage room. Suddenly, a child seemed to hear the noise and stopped. But just at that crucial moment, Anna ran out of strength and stopped banging and shouting, thus losing her only chance to escape. When the lights in the shopping mall went out completely, Anna was left totally trapped in the cold storage room, and her watch also stopped because of the cold. Losing track of time was without a doubt the most lethal blow for someone in her situation. The most terrifying thing was that she started to bleed from her frozen nose, not knowing how much longer she could hold on. Soon the temperature dropped to -16 degrees, and her hands and arms were already showing clear signs of frostbite. She emptied out her entire backpack, took out a thin pair of pajamas, tore them in two, and with adhesive tape tightly wrapped her hands and feet to keep them from freezing completely. Seeing the fan blowing icy air through the duct, she tore off 2 pieces of stiff cardboard of the right size. She climbed a ladder, carefully stood on tiptoe, and placed them over the air outlet, securing them tightly with tape. Just as she reached out to cover the second duct, the freshly taped cardboard was blown away by the force of the cold air. She tried to put it back in place, but her foot suddenly slipped and she fell hard to the floor. In the next instant, the metal shelving unit beside her lost its balance and crashed down with a loud noise. Anna instinctively tried to move out of the way, but even so, the edge of the shelving struck her ankle. The pain was so intense that she screamed at the top of her lungs and curled up on the floor, crying uncontrollably. Then, enduring the pain, she tore off the tape and saw that her foot was swollen and bruised, clearly dislocated. She gritted her teeth and made a risky decision. She slowly wedged her dislocated left foot between 2 shelves, took a deep breath, and suddenly pushed with force. Her ankle snapped back into place by force, and an unbearable pain left her vision white, on the verge of fainting right then and there.